Hi, welcome back to the Quiet Zone. I'm Susan Patang. Today, we're going to talk about what to do when you're afraid of what might happen. I've got a slideshow for you today, so you don't have to be watching me the whole time. So let me get that screen share up. There we go. All right. Okay. And I'm going to move myself over here. How's that? Okay. So, what to do when you're afraid of what might happen? Now, we are feeling the uncertainty. There's a lot of things going on right now. We still have the pandemic racing around. Millions of people are unemployed. Businesses are collapsing. Kids may or may not be in school. Some of us are working from homes. Others are afraid of going to work in case they get sick. So the stress and fear can be overwhelming. What can we do about that? So the first step is to identify and label. What is it specifically that you're concerned about? And you can make sure that you identify the emotion that goes along with it too. So I'm concerned that I might lose my job. I'm angry because so many people are sick and that I can't live my life the way I used to live it. I'm irritated because I'm tired of hearing all this on the news. I'm concerned that my kids aren't going to learn as much as they did when they were in class. So identify it and label it. And what you do when you do that is you take this great big honking scary thing and you shrink it down to the size of a label. When we're stressed out about something and our thoughts start to spiral out of control, what happens is this gorilla in the room that's following us around, and we might not be focusing on it, but it's there and it bothers us. So what we do is we shrink it down, like down to the size of a label on a jar, but don't throw it out or stomp on it or try to push it aside. And those of you who are mothers who drive with their kids in the car, you will know what I'm talking about when you say you strap them in the back seat and say, you can come with me, but I'm driving, be quiet until we get home. Okay. And that's what you want to do. You want to tell those emotions that you've just identified and labeled, hey, I want you to sit in the back seat, strap yourself in. I'm driving right now, and we will deal with this later, but I need to focus on what I'm doing and shrink that down. Okay. If you don't do that, the emotions could come back to bite you later. And we're going to talk about what to do with them in just a second. So here's your second step is to pick apart those emotions. Okay, so when you have a minute, because when you're in the throes of working or doing chores or dealing with the kids or whatever it is you're doing, you don't have time to sit down and analyze everything that's going on in your brain. So you strap them in the back seat, you let them ride along, and you can also tell yourself, here's a freebie for you. You can also tell yourself, hey, congratulations for me on being a human being, because this is what human beings feel like. Okay, sometimes we experience fear or negative emotions. So congratulate yourself for being a functioning human being. But now that you've got a few minutes, you just want to take a look at those emotions and pick them apart a little bit, because as we said in the last screen, we really don't want them to come back and bite you later. So when you have a minute, what is it about this that's bothering me so much? Does it remind you of something else that might have happened to you in the past? A lot of times when we're concerned, upset, afraid, angry, it's not the situation at hand that's bothering us. It's something else that we're reliving again. And it could be something from way back in your childhood, or it could be something that happened to you last year. So just make sure that that's not something else that's coming back, a knee-jerk reaction. Because say, for example, when my husband lost his job the last time, he got laid off and he was out of work for a while. So now whenever he feels like his job might be at risk because of something like that, it really makes him worried and fearful. And this is why, because it's of the reminder of something that happened that was uncomfortable in the past. So what you can do is to use logic and reason to get through these emotions. And you can say to yourself, the chances of my getting laid off from my job are low. I've been there for a while. We're still making things work by commuting online and working from home, whatever. You can say to yourself, since I take precautions like washing my hands and wearing a mask, the chances of me getting sick are lower. That's the logic and the reason. You have to make sure that your expectations are realistic as to what is really happening in the world. You can say to yourself, even though this world is crazy right now, my life doesn't have to be chaotic. So make sure that your expectations of what should be happening and what's going on in the world are accurate, and use that logic and reason to get through the fear and the anger and the irritation. The third step is to use mindful gratitude as a tool. So the past is gone, the future is not here yet. Our lives are made up primarily of all the in between moments, in between milestones. Um, so the only logical sense is to be in the now, be in this moment. Take the time to experience it. Do you remember when you were a kid and it was summertime and you didn't have to go to school and you sat in your mom's kitchen, and just the whole way the room felt and looked and you remember how you felt. We might not remember an experience, but we will always remember the way it made us feel. So being mindful is paying attention to what's going on around us, the way we're feeling, what our environment is like, what it looks like, what it feels like, what's happening around us at the time, and how our body feels too. Now, what you want to do is develop an attitude of gratitude and positivity and awe and wonder. Put them in your life so that when you are experiencing the moments, they are positive and happy and pleasant, because we always remember what situations created in us in terms of feelings, right? We remember how we felt. So by making as many moments as possible feel good, you will remember more of them and feel good. Um, what I call it is the new car factor, and I will explain what that means. When you get a new car, all of a sudden you go out on the road and you see all the other ones just like it, right? They didn't just magically appear. They are now present in your field of vision because that type of car is familiar to you. So if you find the smallest positive things in your life, like I made it through a green light, I didn't have to wait in line at the store. Oh, the cashier was nice to me. I got home faster than I thought. All these little wonderful things, the awe and wonder about technology and nature, the positivity and giving a smile to another human being, put those things, the minutia in life, put the gratitude and the positivity for those moments in your life. The fourth step is to build your self-confidence and self-esteem. Check on your core beliefs about yourself. Okay. What do you say to yourself? Do you say, "Oh, you're so stupid. Why would you do that?" And like I put here on the screen, would you kiss your mother with that mouth? Are these the things that you would say to somebody that you really cared about? Speak to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement and love that you would use to speak to somebody you really care about. And then check on the core beliefs about situations too. What are you telling yourself about them? So if you're having job issues, if you're worried about money, with taking care of the kids while they're going to school remotely, all these things that you identified and labeled, okay? What do you believe about those things, and what are you telling yourself about those things? This is terrible. I'm never going to get through this. I don't know how we're ever going to manage. Oh my gosh, we're running out of money. I don't know what to do. Stop. Okay. Create some positive affirmations that are based on real events and use them to navigate your fear and your anger and your irritation or whatever those emotions are. So what you would be doing is saying, I've made it through things like this before. I've been unemployed before. I've had money trouble before. I'll get through this. I have had to find another job before. I will do it again. I'm a good mom. Look at all the things that I've done. Or I'm a good dad. Look at all the things that I've done with my kids. I can help them with this. I have faced challenges like this before. Make sure that your positive affirmations are linked to real concrete events, because you don't want your subconscious mind to sabotage you. But by doing that and changing the way you look at things, now this is what psychologists call reframing. Look at things from a different perspective. What are the lessons that you can learn from these difficulties? What are you going to be able to take from this entire experience that's going to make you a better human being? Use those things as your focus instead of the negative core beliefs that you might have. The fifth step that you can take is to get some guidance. It can be really difficult and frightening in our world right now. So if you want the confidence to manage the fears that are holding you back, and you want to create a positive self-image and be able to walk into a room with your head held high and the swagger that you would love to have, and manage the ups and downs of life with confidence and grace, you can take my power session. It's called Boost Your Self-Confidence and Self-Esteem. Um, in it, you will learn more specific strategies about positive self-talk and affirmations that really work, how to practice self-care, and you can do all this in just one 45-minute session. You will get a video lesson, you will get a written cheat sheet with exercises on it, and a one-on-one session with me where we will sit down and work on the specific things that worry you and that you have difficulty with. All of this for $97. After one 45-minute session, you will have all the tools you need to boost your self-confidence and your self-esteem. What do you have to lose? Learn how to handle situations and people with confidence and grace. Space is very limited, so please go to www.thequietzonecoaching.com/services right away to sign up for yours, because space is limited and we will not be offering this for a long time. So I hope you have gotten some information from this little mini class. If you have, or if you haven't and you have some feedback that you want to give me, you can email me at susanatthequietzone@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.